What is balanced diet? Balanced diet means that the food, the diet you're eating should be balanced in terms of the component inside the food. What components are there? We have macronutrients and micronutrients. The macronutrients consist of, I think you know it, carbohydrate or carbo, protein, and fat. They all produce calories which you need to live, to develop, to grow, to repair, and to do many functions. The micronutrients, as the name implies, it is micro, very small. The volume is very small, but they are very important because they are involved in so many reactions in the body. Without them, the reactions will not happen quite well. Restrictions by the Department of Health of Indonesia that the intake of sodium, the salt, must not exceed 5 grams a day. And the intake of sugar must not exceed 50 grams a day. What happened in reality? In reality, these figures are just surpassed. Okay, so we come back to the balanced diet. For carbohydrate, the next slide perhaps. This is what we have to consume. For carbohydrate, we better take the complex carbohydrate, meaning a carbohydrate that if it consumed, it becomes glucose, but it will release slowly, very slowly in the blood, so that it will be distributed slowly into all parts of the body. Rather different than the simple sugar, in which once it is ingested, it will be released, absorbed very quickly in the blood, so you have a very high concentration in the blood and will cause some problems. I go to the healthy protein because this is also important. The healthy protein should come from this kind of, this kind of meat. They are all from, this is the salmon, this is from the lean meat, from the beef, and preferably the beef should come from cows that are eating or taking grass not from the feed in the stalls. But this is also a kind of protein which is also important, and this one, nuts and seeds, they are also protein. Yeah? And fat, we have two types of fat, the saturated fat and the unsaturated fat. This is, this is avocado, this is the oil here and the coconut oil. Preferably, you take the unsaturated fat rather than saturated, because the saturated fat, sometimes it is too much, will cause you problem. You need also to take fiber in your food. Fiber is something that is seen in the seaweed, millet, quinoa, seeds again, and nuts. The fiber is important. Why? Because it will improve your digestion. It will give you a volume for the feces. It will also protect you from absorbing too much cholesterol if you eat too much fat in the field. To give you some more example of the balanced healthy diet, this is what we call the rainbow diet. Each of these vegetable or fruit has its own antioxidant, a material or chemical that is useful to protect us from what we call it the free radicals which come inside us during our breathing or drinking or eating. So it is very protective for us. And each color has its own different antioxidant. So you need to take all colors, not necessarily at once, but you need to take all colors to be able to have the privilege of having the antioxidants. What about the plate? This is the material. The plate, I mean, what you put in your plate to have the meal, it should not contain white material like white rice, salt, white sugar, but rather you take brown sugar, brown rice, whole bread, because that is something which is much more important and much more beneficial to the health. This is an example of my breakfast according to the rainbow diet. Yeah, you see here a lot of colors here. I've been consuming this kind of rainbow diet for many years, and you see, I am now 76 years. So I'm most grateful to the rainbow diet because it proves that it helps you a lot to have your health. And Mookie D, from my first story, also followed my advice. And after some time, he came back to see me. There's no problem anymore. Some restrictions which you have to know as well, but you have to be very careful to avoid this kind of material or food because it will cause you later problem. The one that you should be careful, trans fat. Trans fat is a fat that is made artificially in the industry, not a normal one, artificially, to make the food very stable, look brighter, and stable, lasting longer, and perhaps nicer to eat. But trans fat has been known to be very deleterious to your health. It can cause problem in the heart, in the lung, in the kidney, and also cancer. So be careful of trans fat. The problem with trans fat and also with the other one, HFCS, is high fructose corn syrup. They are very sweet. It is fructose sweet, but it is made artificially as well by the industry to be delivered to another industry, food industry, to be put in their product. So we cannot know exactly which product contains trans fat, which product contains HFCS. But in general, processed food, I mean the food that's been processed before and put in a very beautiful box, very attractive boxes, they all contain HFCS and trans fat. So be careful if you buy to go to a grocery store and look at those attractive boxes that you buy, and because they are all very nice, very nice. Otherwise, they won't sell. Okay? Another one is carbonated drinks. They are all acidic. Acidic. We know that. I think you have been. If you look at your handphone, and many news were swept around about the carbonated drink, the cola drink. Yeah, the cola. I'm not talking about the special brand. The cola drink is a generic name. Yeah. This is also deleterious to your health. And canned food, particularly meat canned food, this is also not nice to eat, and nice to eat, but not healthy. And also food that has been microwaved or irradiated. Sometimes irradiate. It is also not healthy. So these are things that you must put into consideration before you eat or buy something. although this is a very big challenge to you, because usually they will produce food that is very attractive, very good looking, and very nice, sometimes also very cheap. Yeah. I see that so many young people here, the millennial generation, we call it, you need good brain if you want to prosper later on, to go to higher class education. And this is one of the secret for you to take if you want to have good brain. These are called the brain buster foods. Yeah? Number one is the complex carb, as mentioned before. So don't consume simple sugars, always complex sugars, complex carbo. Yeah? Number two, because why? Because the brain needs glucose, in fact, to feed them, to give them energy for the brain cells. So this is for the BPM, for the brain, yeah? Number two, essential fatty acid. You know, this is like omega-3 and omega-6, some of the omega-6, not all, some of them. They are all very good, and because they will improve your IQ and also PQ, physical quotient. Yeah? You need that. The third one is the phospholipid. Phospholipid is a kind of fat that is found in the egg yolk. So you eat egg every day, including the yolk. Don't just eat the white one. Because my patient, a lot of my patients, if they eat egg, they throw away the yolk, which is a waste here. Because in that egg yolk lies the secret of brain buster. Yeah? And also the organ meat. The organ meat also contains a lot of phospholipid. So what is the phospholipid used for? The phospholipid is just like an infrastructure. We know Indonesia is building infrastructure anywhere. Infrastructure for the neuro and brain structure, because it is found in the sheath of each nerve bundles. So it gives you the right path for the nerve to go from one place to another place. And from the transportation from the nerve, from one nerve to another one, we need the amino acid. The amino acid will form what we call the neurotransmitter. Neurotransmitter is a material, a substance that brings information from one part of the body to the other part through the nerve. So we have the infrastructure, we have the transportation. And the last but not the least, intelligent nutrient. That is the vitamin and mineral. Those are there are a lot of vitamins, you know, of course, vitamin A, B, C, D, K, E, K, and minerals, many minerals. They build and rebuild the neuronal system. And they make sure that the nerves and the brain are always functioning very well. So you see that these five heroes as the brain buster is what we need, so that our brain will function very well, and not having problem with learning at all. There is a study in Swansea University in UK, in which 60 students divided into two parts, 30 and 30. The first one gets the vitamin and mineral which they need, and the other one didn't get it, without their knowing, of course. After 8 months, they compare the performance of these two groups, and it showed that the IQ of the first group increased by 4.5, which is quite a lot, yeah? And it shows that they learn much quickly and they can retain the memory longer than the one who didn't get the supplement of vitamin and mineral. So this shows that the brain buster is really working. So for you who are still have to study a long way, not like me who has been studying too much on the level, you need this brain buster. To end up my speech, I give you take-home message. Number one is that good, selected, balanced diet is necessary and imperative for your body to function well so that you get the best performance you need. Number two, food can be a brain buster. So don't just eat food because you were hungry and you like to eat, but select the right food and you become full and you become also more and more healthy and wiser. And number three, if you do this, then chronic diseases, which are now very prevalent in Indonesia and elsewhere, will not happen in your older days. Thank you.